Hello and welcome. Yes, this is. I'm wanting to do this as a Beyleron revisited. Yes, start from scratch. Just literally started and I've done what? Yeah, bought two pieces of equipment. This was on special offer and it's fantastic. And also a little tractor, a run around. It's one of the Antonio Carrera, 38 horsepower. So it's not a powerhouse. It's just my little vehicle for getting around at the minute. It's 28 kph, so it's not super duper fast. Bought one field, which I should show you, which is one of the cheapest, but it is down the bottom. I prefer the bottom end of this from my first time. We've got bought field 34, and I believe we have sorghum. When is sorghum to be? This very day, right? So okay, we need to be leasing. Yeah, we do also need to be buying some sort of. Yeah, we do. Now, obviously, we can't use this. Now, let's get cracking to begin with. Let's get the harvester going. And we'll talk as... Yeah, no, let me show you my settings first, as I usually do. Yeah, first year, as it always says, 1 year. Session, 14 minutes. I've been mucking around with actually recording settings. So, 57 minutes in total. That I have used this as a test map for recording. But then I changed my mind and I thought, do you know... So it is a normal economy, not hard. I have paid my loan back. I have got everything on except for periodic ploughing. Yeah, everything else is as standard. Yes, a normal economy rather than hard is the main setting. Right. So I've taken on one contract to earn a little bit of money because, yeah, we're going to need to... Whoa. Let's not crash that window in. Yeah, I've repaired the tractor, but obviously I'm going to need more than that. But yeah, I think we're going to lease a harvester to begin with, and yeah, right. Oh, that's typical. It's on the wrong side. Yeah, it is. I just wanted to do Haut Beyleron Revisited. I thoroughly enjoyed this map. I absolutely did love it. I chose this. Well, actually, no, I did Elm Creek as well. Yeah, I did really enjoy my time on Haut Beyleron, and whoa, why do I always do things like that? Right, let's pull that out a little bit and stop it and stick the header on it. Yeah, so I thought that I'm soon going to be looking for a European map, and I thought, what better series than to do a year on and to choose the original map that I came on, because what I'm trying to accentuate is all of the everything that's changed is what I'm getting at. All of the mods that were not there when I first started. Yeah, it's completely different. Right, let's first of all get follow me on. That's one thing that we can definitely do that is going to be quite an advantage. We've got the JCB and the Crampy. So let's get following. This is actually quite close to my own field, so yeah. Time what's knocking up to 1, which is my default. We've got 1 day seasons, which is my preferred setting if I'm honest. Okay, it looks like that's right, I've not got half of the mods enabled. Just pause that thought. Right, okay, that's follow me loaded. That's loads of my mods loaded. One thing I will apologise for. I'm going to use my sneaky trick that I always used to use before, because it done half cut out an awful massive thing, and I do apologise because I know not many other people do tricks like this, but I think it's such a time-saving thing. And the people in Haut Beyleron are yes, I have known them for a long time, over a year now in this area. I started to farm over a year ago. Yeah, almost to the month. In fact, just under a year. Thinking about it. Right, remember, right hand side, Mr. Smith. Yeah, so this is us going to do the field. Now, let me just have a look. It should be flashing. Aha, it is. It's to the right. Yeah, I know where it is. We, on one of my original Haut Beyleron Revisited, I actually bought this field to the right. It is quite a monster. It's got a fantastic headland, but yeah, it is a little bit rich for us now. We could not afford it. So I'm starting in the true vein of start from scratch. We've got a tiny little tractor. I haven't done my normal thing of doing a year. This time we're doing it properly. Yeah, we are. Just us. Right, now then. I know I did have to go wide. I'm just hoping that there's no traffic. Right, so it's this field on the right, which makes sense because it's canola. Right, now then, so headlands. Let's give the enough room for the tractor behind us following to which, oh no, we haven't lost them. Here they are now. Lady. A Gin Urso, yes, I have got my Star Wars names on straight away. Right, okay then, so let's get this header off and let's get some, our very first contract sorted. Yeah, so I'm not doing my normal thing, so we're going to need to lease a harvester, so I'm obviously allowing leasing, which I will say, rules of engagement. It's normal economy rather than hard, because I do find it really does, what's the right word? Stifles is it not? It's not the word I was looking for, but it will do. Yeah, it does stifle growth. I find. Yeah, it's got Stone Valley on real hard economy. Are we going to do this? Are we going to course play this, or are we going to do this to save a bit of money to begin with? Do you know something? I think we'll. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I need to unfold the harvester, not the header. You're fibbing to me. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my words, I'm going to go into a time lapse straight away, and we're going to do this field ourselves. So I'm going to say my words, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right. I've stopped this because I've been thinking, obviously the beauty of this type of thing is, I have been thinking, now I've set up a battle plan, yeah, rules of engagement, a little bit more different to normal. This is sort of like the birthday of the game, it really is, so that's why I really wanted to come back on Haut. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for the first year of my farming career on Beyleron, I am not allowed to own a single production. No productions. I can use sell points on the map, but no productions. I can store up stuff if I wanted, although that's going to then limit the amount of money I earn in the first year. But I am allowed to use any single mod at all. So, with that in mind, I am wasting time. Yes, I have got straw on, and I've got that collect straw at missions. Now, what I have is an agreement with any of the farmers that we're doing fields for that they don't normally use this kind of straw. In fact, very few switch that on at all, as most of you probably know. Well, I've switched that straw on because I can make use of that straw, but obviously I can't convert it to silage or anything like that because I can't use a production like that. But I can bale it. I can. So, with that in mind, I am going to grab a baler. Yeah, definitely. And will it allow us to use these on the very thing that it's... I'm not sure, but we can try. Yeah, I don't want to finish this contract, that's what I'm thinking. Right, can I remember my way around the map? I can. So let's go and grab a baler. We're going to lease or we're going to buy one of the cheap ones? I think we'll just buy one of the cheap ones. Now we all know straw is, yeah, it's not fantastic. I was originally thinking of, something's going wrong with the JCB fast track writing. It's doing some right weird things. Oh, it's alright, settle down. That's bizarre. Yeah, I was originally thinking of like going for productions and making that into silage with something like the Hessian, and then I thought, yeah, I didn't realise the consequences of what I've just said, but it's true, I'm going to stick to it. You can still sell straw bales, or, yeah, you can, or we literally set them, no, we're going to have to, can't, yeah, there's no point in us spending hours literally baling if then we don't actually use that. So, are we going to buy or are we going to lease? I think we're going to lease. We're going to make maximum use of leasing at present. That's what I'm going to say. Have I got interactive zone markers on? I thought I'd switch that off. Ah, okay. So it is. Right, okay, so then we want a baler. I'm not going for the little balers. I am going for a proper baler, but I am going to go for the modded one. So yeah, any mod that I want to use, I am going to use. Except I can't own a production. Yeah, simple as that. So I think we'll go for the John Deere balers. Right, okay, so I think we will... Are we going to lease it? Yes. So, yeah, we're going to make max use of that type of thing at present. Let's take that, and we're going to use, yeah, our worker. We have friends in the area. Yeah, we've only owned fields, and the reason I chose that field as well is for a secondary reason. I can't afford a silo. Now, silos aren't classed as productions, are they? Because that's not what I was trying to do. Well, what I'm thinking of, I did this on one of my beginning, yeah, actually when I bought the big field that I was telling you about, I started off on the very field that we've gotten for this time. Because it's very close to the railroad, and that means you can use the railroad silo to store your goods, which is exactly what I plan on doing, yes. Making the most of the things on the map, because we've got to box clever, we really have. Right. So then, let's set a course. Can anybody see my mistake? I've done this manually, or I've done round and round, so truthfully, this should actually work. Should. Right, okay, and what I'm going to need to do is stick over to the harvester because we have done round and round. That is true. That should work. We need to make a course in this for round and round on course play. That is the point. No, I haven't. So I need to create a new folder. And this is field. That is true. What field are we on? 38, I believe, from memory. And we need to create the job. And that'll do nicely. Pin course generator, headlands. I think we'll try going round and round all of the time. So let's try 7. See if it leaves anything in the middle. No, that's not bad. And, oh, that is a point. What was that? Yeah, it's alright. I didn't take note of the header. 9.2 meters. Okay. Save. Activate. 9.2 meters. Brilliant. So let's do this at nearest point. Fantastic. That is not bad. Yeah, it's a good job I did do what I did though, because otherwise this would not have worked. Right now, moment of truth. Does this work? It does. It does allow you to use a contract vehicle on a actual contract field while the field is active. Brilliant. I thought it might, but I wasn't sure. I've never tried to do it ever in all my... What on earth are you doing? Not you. The harvester. Now that is not good. I'm sure that's not right. Right, let's see where you're... In fact, yeah, let's switch that on for a minute. It is there. Something's going wrong with the graphics sometimes. I'm getting weird sort of fuzzy bits where it's going wrong. Right, anyway. Right, so what can we do? We're baling. We are going to need to lease some means of either grabbing bales off the field. Something like, yeah, it costs too much though. Yeah. I know what I can do, that is true. What I'm going to need to do though is shift them off the field. But this is not going to get touched, not even by the farmer themselves, until next year. So it is possible for me to leave the bales on the field a little bit if I talk nicely to the farmer, which will give me a little bit of time to try to do something. Is all I'm thinking. Right, where is the baler? Let me just check that the baler is actually managing to get... Oh, it is. Definitely. Smashing, it is. That plan is working. I love it when a plan does come together. It's not quite right, as you can see. It's just literally on the very edge of working. Yeah, it's sometimes missing little bits. That's because of the human factor. It is, truly. Right, well, you know my plan. I've actually very nearly finished this. It's very close to being done, but this is the plan. I think we're going to literally go through... There's obviously only a limited amount of contracts in the first... to begin with anyway. Right, okay, we're just going to go for harvesting. 10, 20, 38. Ah, they've changed things. Ah, but it still only shows you, yeah. Ah, I see. If you click it, it disappears them, and you can just look on. That's clever. I'd not seen that new feature. And it may be quite old, because I haven't done much of... yeah, contract work for a while. So yes, that is the rules of engagement. We on this type of thing. Why are you missing such a lot on the field? Right. Well, it looks to me like they've missed one round, so yeah, we should set this going in a little while. Right, let's have a look also where we actually need to take this to, because that needs to be delivered to GCHB Grain Bit. Oh, that's the top of the map, isn't it? Sure it is. Yes, it is. GCHB Grain Bit. So I've got to lug that all the way up the top. Good job we've got a nice tractor. Right, okay, smashing. Right, we also need to grab a borrower harvester ourselves. So let's go and have a quick look, because we're not far away from our fields. If it's a very poor yield, which sorghum will be if it's not been, let's have a look to see if it's been looked after. Now that doesn't look ready to harvest to me. Yeah, 67%. Oh, you will notice I've got crop rotation on as well. So, right, this has got to be ready next month then. So that actually gives us a little bit of time to actually build a little bit of money up. Yes, I'm making maximum use of contracts to begin with, I really am. Yeah, because we've got very limited funds, but I don't want to do what I used to do. My wait a year, don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing that, but I just want to start straight away. So that means we've got to try and do as much ourselves as possible, so... What are you doing? It's missing that entire round. And the corners. Yeah, that's true. It's going to go wrong in places, but we can do a little bit of clean-up at the end. In fact, do you know something? Why am I paying a worker when I can actually do this myself and leave the... we'll get the worker to carry on when I can't, but this is costing us money, so... let's get cracking ourselves. Yes, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't think it's very good, is it? The straw, how much you get for it. I'm sure it's quite awful, but it is what it is. Now then, we should is that the last row? It looks very much like it to me. Well, I think we get the gist of this anyways. Am I going to go? No, because we're going to run the crop up to the to finish this in a couple of minutes. So I shall leave this to carry on once I drive up to the top. Mind you, no, we can talk. What about no? I think that is it, because I think the rest is clean up, if I'm honest. Right, so we shall set this in a minute. No, maybe that last little tiny half a line. Yes, it's funny, I was using this as a test map the other day, and it was just today when I was doing the recordings that I thought, do you know something, it'd be really a good series to do a year on in FS22 to show, because obviously there were no mods at all when this was released. It was literally all base game, and it was tough. The paint, oh, that reminds me, paint settings. They are on base game settings. I really don't want that. Really don't want that. So let's change that. Is on that there. Here we no, that's volume. Is it that one? Okay. Is it that one? I'm missing something. Growth. AI passenger. Euros. Camera. Volume. Precision farming. Oh, where has it been moved to? Why is it when you... I'm going to cut this out, I think, because this is silly. I have got that mod done as well. I did make sure that that was on. Ah, here we go. Right, maintenance I'm going to do at my standard settings 50. So I'm only literally halving it, but I am slowing it down to 25%, and it's still... I've got to be honest, the paint things, I don't think paint works at all. I really don't. Right, have we? Yeah, we have. I did think so. Right, let's set you going now, so we need to be turning around. Let's just tidy this bit up, and then we're going to get that, and we're going to then go and finish this off. And leave this running along nicely, just tidying up, grabbing the bales, whilst we go and take this up to the top of the map. I just want to do this one contract. Yeah, in fact, no. Let's do this first. That's it, that should be alright. Now, nearest. Should be online. Right. Let's get this last bit finished off, and then we'll take this up to the top, and that is where I'm going to finish my first session. What was Obi-Wan doing? Why was I paying work for just sitting in a tractor when he thought he'd finished? I don't know. It gets worse. Yeah, I thought I'd do literally a year on and show more Beyleron. Because I got to be honest, I really did love my time. But obviously, it was all content creators could create. But it would be nice to revisit. I'm thinking. I do like Erling Rat, but I think Erling Rat's been done to death, if I'm honest, by a lot of content creators. Because it is such a good map, but there's so much content out there from Erling Rat. And very little originality that I can show, whereas this is original. There were no mods on Beyleron, and this time I'm trying to revisit this from a different sort of way, from the mod side of things. Now we've got all the mods. Right, let's just concentrate 1 second. Right, smashing. Yeah, so I'm thinking, I should see, it may or may not get traction, but if it doesn't, then it'll just be a few sessions with me revisiting all Beyleron. Yeah, and it's different for me as well. I'm doing it in a different way. This is almost like it was back in the very beginning. Because I hadn't devised my let's do a year, not for quite a few maps. Did I do that? I think I did. Did I do it on my Haut Beyleron Revisited? I may have done on that. Did I do it from the beginning? Do you know? I definitely didn't do it on day 1. It came to me, I think it was part of the way through Haut Beyleron. So I may have done it on the second one, the Revisited one, which I did. I ended that quite abruptly because there was, yeah, I really had got very little traction on the channel at all. Very few viewers. I was almost talking to myself. Right, let's get this. And let's get these cleanups done. We are not, yeah, we want every last little ounce of product that we can. yes, I'm not sure. We shall see as well. I might be totally, if straws, I've got to try and devise something, whether we get a cheap Anderson or whatever, or you know, like something in the sales, or whether we get a cheap telehandler and we actually have to manually handball, because there's no point in us doing this unless we're going to make some money. I think there is a little bit, I can see it in the distance. Yeah, we could try selling the bales, or we could hold on to them for next year when we can have productions. It's up to us really. So it could be our future, or it could be I just sell it as straw, make a few hundreds per contract extra, but it depends. The effort has got to be commensurate to the gain, so we shall see. I'm deliberating. Also, we shall see also how desperate I get. I haven't stuck any generators down at all yet. I would like to though, but it's not really, as I've said, I don't want any super duper ones, because then it's about the generator winning for me and not the... what I would like is the reasonable ones that literally... Where's that not? Why am I not remembering how to... Oh, it's back. So I was pressing the wrong thing. Right, well I think we should do this. I think that is big, the crampy is quite large, so I think we should do this. You were talking about running this up to the top, but how can you do that if your main tractor, or the contract's main tractor, is doing the baling? This is actually a very good question. Yeah, it really is. Right, so that is done now. Don't need that anymore. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, I think that was a good question. Let's crack on and let's take over from the worker. And let's do some clean-up, and then we'll leave it at that. We'll take this up to the top, complete the contract, and these bales, we still have permission to store the bales on the field until for a couple of months. Obviously we can't do sort of indefinitely, that no farmer's going to put up with that. Not even for, yeah, like a storyline. But it is believable that you would get partial payments in bales, or yeah, but there's not many that wouldn't if it was your baler, or leased. Right. I do love the JCB. He is a fantastic tractor. Right, we'll time lapse this. There's not much left now, really. It's just, have I got much left to talk to you about? So that is the real question. Yeah, so I suppose I have. Yeah, I'm sure I can manage 5 minutes, which is not much different to what this is. So yeah, it's all ideas, but obviously that's very limiting, the fact that we can only use sell points on this for a year. There's not a single production we can own, so that does seriously limit what I can do and what money I can make. So we shall see whether I'm going to think about it, because as soon as this session's over, yeah, I'll get a chance to think about options. So yes, I'm not sure whether we'll sell. Could try selling, or work out how much the selling straw is at the different sell points. I also got that fantastic mod that dropped today, which is the one that tells you the prices, the best place, and all that type of stuff. Not that it would take that long for me to work it out manually, but it is nice to actually get. Now that's not, let me get that bit out. So right, let's get this. And it's all inside, smashing, so getting there. Yeah, so we shall see what traction it gets. So we can use all mods, but we cannot use any productions in this first year. That is the rules of engagement. Normal economy. We can lease. We can take a loan out, but I prefer only to be bridging. Like if we were going to get some income tomorrow from something, then I can take a bridging loan that is taking that into consideration. I can talk to the bank manager, and the bank manager says, yes, I can see this contract's going to bring in 50,000 tomorrow, so of course I'll lend you 10,000. That type of thing. Don't really want to be lending just willy-nilly, so that we can sort of, but it has to be a very, very good reason on why we are allowed to borrow some money, because I don't really like the bank loans, so I've often used that as my criteria that, no loans unless it's absolutely necessary. There's quite a few bales. They're 8 ton, aren't they? Either 7.5s or 8 ton bales. 6, 7. It is, yeah. It's got to be 8. Fantastic, nearly there. And we shall give the shop a ring, ask their guys to pick this up, the baler from off the side of the fields, and we take the crop up to the top. The GCHB, and that's where I'm going to leave this very first session. Yeah, it has been quite a long one. These harvests, they're not a 10-minute quick zip over like fertiliser contracts, which they, I believe workers going quite nicely to earn us quite a bit of money off a fertiliser contract. And then, let's face it, there are quite a few very reasonable fertiliser spreaders. So, although I'm not sure our little tractor would be very much used for that. It's also, I don't think it wouldn't cope with it anyway, even if you could stick something like the, I don't think you can have that. I don't think you can have a front loader either. I'm sure that's just, it's more for a run around that. And it was 12,000, and I thought, it'll do for tiny little jobs. I don't think it'll do for fertiliser spreading. I think that's a bit beyond it, if I'm honest. Although I have used small tractors before for that on Beyleron, this very map. But, I use the Rex actually, which I suppose it's true. But that particular tractor is probably one of the smallest of the Antonio Carrera pack. So even the Rex, I think, was at least 3.7 tons. This is 1 point something ton. It's really, really small. So I'm really not sure. Right, nearly there. Now then, will we get another bale out of this? That is the real question. Yes, that is very true. I think we may just need to scour a little bit, so I'm hoping not. That's quite a big chunk of straw there. We definitely don't want any more than this one. Ooh, it's going to be close. Very close. Still stick to my guns, I think we'll do it. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world. It is what it is. We've all had it. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. So I think we will. It says 7% still to do. So that's quite a lot, and I can't see a lot of straw left. It's very little down. There's some very these are not full bits either. These are like little straggly bits. I think I'm not sure we're going to do it. And it's not like grass. We can't mow some more to make it go further. is actually more than 8. There is a bit of that top end. You know, when I said this, I really didn't think it was quite this close. Yeah. Please don't tell me we're going to miss it by a litre. Oh, that would be rather horrible. Oh, thank goodness for that. Wow, that was tough. Right, okay, let's stick this on the side. And we will shout the shop. Well, we will ring the shop. And we will ask them to pick that up. And we will go and take this up to the top. Now we shall complete our very first contract. Right, okay then. Right, let's give the shop a ring first. And say, please bring back that baler. Right, so 30 odd tons of canola in this contract. Obviously the other thing is, yeah, precision farming. There's so much that's changed in this very year. And actually I was thinking it is about a year. Or was it November? I think it was late November, wasn't it? It's only, yeah. Why is my... say the 29th of November when it's October? Yeah, actually I'm thinking about it. It's that date that's thrown me a bit of a wobbler. Right, now this is going to be fun because this is a bit of a nasty hill, as I remember very well from my time on my Beyleron. Sell to make ourselves money, or are we going to try and store and put this somewhere? I think we're going to need every ounce, every penny that we can to begin with, so I think additional we shall sell, although the best time would be November, so we shall see how quick we are, because there are quite a few cheap trailers and there's always the opportunity each month that we go on till November that we may find a cheap trailer anyway on the sales. We may, so wow. See, as I remember this so well, coming up this hill. Nearly there. Nearly the worst bit. I do love the look of canola, it is fantastic. I have also got the sleep anywhere. As I said, any mod is allowed. So, but I I am starting to try to do sleep triggers. I think it quite appropriate that we probably do something like either a caravan or, even better, the tent mod. I've got the Omatana set. I think we'll probably use that to begin with, and we will use it as a aids to the storyline. Is it that one? Right, indicate. It is. We should have a look though. Oh, I was going to say, have I got traffic on, but I can see the answer to that question is yes. How many icons to go through? Yeah, it is this very one. Yeah, that was a little too quick for me, if I'm honest. But yeah, it is what it is. We've made enough. We made as much from that as we probably will have done from the actual contract itself. So, right. So then, that is the end of our first session. Let us grab that contract and collect. So then, field 43, isn't that the one by the shop? It is. Let's grab that one for next session. 43, we will borrow items, obviously. And that is also going to be for that one. Right, so we're going to leave it there for now. 152,718, so we've made quite a bit of money. And we still got our original little tiny tractor. I'm going to catch the bus, and I shall see you down at the shop in the next session. Yes, so I'm going to say, I truly do hope that you're going to continue with me on this journey. Oh wow, those granaries literally are. Omatana actually used the granaries that already existed. I did sort of know, but yeah, just only seeing this back on here that reminds me that that is the case. Anyway, yeah. Please, by all means, leave comments. Any additional rules that you think should be there, or yeah, please leave them. Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye for now.